You know, by me being a white boy in the situation that I'm in, it was a daily battle.
Prison Stories 101, man. I believe as of right now, this is our first time sitting down. We done had many of blacks, had a couple Mexicans. I had one white girl. But this is my first time sitting down with my Caucasian brother, man, Red Dawg, man. What's good with it? Blessings. For first and foremost, if you don't mind, introduce yourself and let them know how much time you did.
Yeah, I did 10 years in TDC. My name's Red Dawg. I'm from Eastwood, Fort Worth, Texas. And right quick, before we get too far into this, I'd like to give a shout out.
Please.
I'd like to shout out to my children, my family, 88 Dawg, upcoming artists in the city. I would also like to shout out to OG, the Don, Keista, OG Kiki from Eastwood.
Yeah.
You coming home soon, homie?
Yeah.
I would also like to give a shout out, or say R.I.P. Pee Wee, R.I.P. Pee Wee, Eastwood. Gone but never forgotten, homie.
Yeah, that's real. Before we get started, let's stay right there, man, because you opened up the doors. You said shout out to your children, man. How many children you got?
16 children. Just had my baby girl Bailey 2 weeks ago.
Oh. Congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank you.
I think I was just talking to you off camera. You said 16. How many did you have before you went in? How many did you have after?
My first stretch, I had no children. Second stretch, I went back. I had 3 children. And since I've been out, I've added 13 more to them.
13. If you don't mind speaking on the mentality of spreading your seed as such, is it by nature you wanted to do this, or is it just more so your pullout game is a little weak?
It's hard to hear you, my man.
Oh.
You fucking with a 50-year-old man right now.
Talk to him. I ain't even got to the age yet.
Yeah, I've been hitting the head so many times down this stretch. It's hard to hear. I barely can see you.
Yeah.
So come on with it, homie. Say it again.
The mentality of having 16 kids.
Right.
What is that? Is that what you wanted? Is that just...
Now, I'll be honest with you about the children. The children who keep me mentally stable. Like, when I got out the penitentiary, first time when I went to penitentiary, I was reckless. I was just doing what it do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I came home, when I had my 3 children out there, Michaela, Elijah, and Isaiah, which one of them Dawg, I went back that stretch. It was very depressing, When you have children and somebody depending on you, you go back down to the penitentiary. So now that I'm out, of course, all men like we like women. So it seems like every time I lay with one, I have another child. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very, very, very happy for my children. Like I said again, they're the ones that I'm here for. They're the reason that I wake up and breathe and find a way for them. You know what I mean? They depend on me, so I have to. Once you have somebody depending on you in the first time in your life, I didn't have nobody depending on me the first time I went down. Second time I did. Now this time I for sure ain't letting go.
There you go. Come on. Now you out of Fort Worth. You mentioned Eastwood.
Correct. Eastwood, Paru.
Come on.
Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah, we don't see too many bloods that come through on these platforms out of Fort Worth, and then we definitely don't see that many, white boys, whites being part of the blood community.
Correct. And I feel like, honestly, I've never met too many myself, and actually to be like me, I've met none, 0. Like I am really him.
Yeah, I
really am. I'm from Eastwood, Paru. Stand firm. Went to the penitentiary, stood firm. Came out. My whole city knows who I am. Not saying it in a negative way, just saying that I give a lot of respect out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What would you back then? What would you do for your reputation back then?
Whatever it took. By me being a white boy in the situation that I'm in, it was a daily battle because I felt like didn't nobody accept me anyway. You know, even in a situation like in the penitentiary, the Bloods and the Pyrus and whoever was with, they didn't accept me. You know, if they wasn't from my city, I had to prove myself. So, you know, I went to the penitentiary and I got my boxing game better. So, you know, you get respect with that. Plus, it wasn't just the fighting through the penitentiary. It was the way I carried myself through the penitentiary.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go and go through there. You know, normally when we have somebody on the platform for the first time, we try to find out what led them up to their prison sentence. Right. So before we get started, first and foremost, how much time do you do your first stint? How much time do you do the second?
First time altogether with my back time and the county time, 10 years.
What year did you first go in? What year did you get out?
1990, went in 93, and I got out in, I actually went to the penitentiary in 94, I think, and I got out in 2000. So that made 6 years right there, but I'd already had back time from the county and other, you know, places they had sent me, which made 10 years.
Yeah. Man, 93, 94, that's the height of the Blood and Crip War, if
Correct.
you would say.
Correct.
I remember there was a movie called Gang Banging in Little Rock that was back then. And a lot of people didn't know what was going down in Fort Worth. Even when people that watched that Gang Banging in Little Rock, how comparative was that to like what was going on in Fort Worth with the Bloods and Crips at the time?
Well, you know, I didn't get to see too much of gang banging in Little Rock because we was gang banging in Eastwood.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't paying attention to the outside. I was an insider. Like real life. It was nothing compared to a movie, to be honest with you, because it was real life. People were dying every day on both sides. You know, people getting shot up every day on both sides. You know, it was something I pray to God we never get back into. You know, the youngsters nowadays, they feel like they're really doing something, right? And to me, and all due respect to the youngsters, now I ain't shooting at nobody, but back then you really had to be about that lifestyle. Yeah. Period. You couldn't and not back that up. You understand what I'm saying? You had to really be about that.
At the height of it, what was it like just waking up, going outside? Like how on your P's and Q's did you have to be?
Oh, you know, for me, especially by me being white, like I was a target. Understand what I'm saying? When walking outside was, again, I didn't get a lot of freedom. I went to prison quick. And I think that's why God, you know, I tell a lot of people I'm on borrowed time. You know what I mean? Because truth be told, if I was still in them streets, I probably wouldn't be behind this camera today. The streets was deadly, very deadly. And, you know, I held nothing back. I would just, you know.
For the sentence that you got, what was the crime that was committed for them to?
Well, here's the deal. I learned how to steal cars, right? I was broke coming up. I didn't have, you know, we're young. So I stole a few cars, kind of got caught up with that. Then aggravated armed robbery with a deadly weapon. You know, that's what actually sent me to penitentiary.
Yeah.